There's a hidden cost constantly seeking validation, and most people don't realize they're paying it until it's too late, because validation feels good in the moment. It gives you a sense of approval, a temporary feeling that you're on the right path. But what it slowly does, quietly, subtly, is it shifts your focus. You stop doing things because they matter, and you start doing things because they're noticed. And that's where everything begins to break. The hidden cost of validation: when your actions are driven by validation, your identity becomes unstable, because now your sense of worth depends on how others respond. If people praise you, you feel confident. If they ignore you, you feel doubt. If they criticize you, you feel like stopping. You are no longer in control. Your direction, your discipline, your consistency, all of it becomes tied to external reactions. And that's dangerous, because the world is inconsistent. People are inconsistent. Some days they will support you. Some days they won't even notice you exist. So if your motivation is built on their response, your progress will collapse the moment the attention disappears. And it always does. That's the part no one talks about. Attention is temporary. It fades. Trends change. Audiences move on. People forget. But the work you've done in silence, that stays, that compounds, that builds something real. The illusion of being ahead: there's another trap hidden inside validation. It creates the illusion that you're further ahead than you actually are. When people compliment your ideas, when they admire your plans, when they tell you you're going to be successful, it feels like you've already made progress, but you haven't. You've only received recognition for potential, not execution. And potential is dangerous when it's praised too early, because it makes you comfortable. It removes the urgency to act. It gives you a false sense of achievement, and slowly that hunger, the one that pushes you to improve, starts to fade. You start settling for talking about success instead of building it. And that's how years pass, not in failure, but in almost starting, almost committing, almost becoming who you said you would be. Why silence builds power. Silence protects your focus. When you stop announcing everything, when you stop seeking approval, when you stop explaining your every move, something shifts. Your energy stays with you. Your attention becomes sharper. Your actions become more intentional, because now you're not performing anymore. You're building, and building requires depth. It requires long periods of uninterrupted focus. It requires repetition without recognition. It requires doing the same things over and over again without getting bored. And that's where most people fall apart, because they've trained their minds to chase novelty, not mastery. But mastery is quiet, it's slow, it's often invisible. A writer becomes great by writing hundreds of pages no one reads. An athlete becomes elite through thousands of hours no one sees. A disciplined mind is built through countless decisions no one applauds. That's the truth. The things that change your life rarely look impressive in the moment. The war within at its core. This isn't just about work. It's about control over your mind, control over your impulses, control over the part of you that wants comfort instead of growth. Because every day there's a battle happening inside you. A quiet one. One voice says, take it easy. You deserve a break. No one will notice if you stop today. The other voice says, keep going, stay focused, do the work regardless of how you feel. And the voice you listen to becomes your life. Working in silence strengthens the second voice, because it forces you to rely on yourself. There's no external push, no audience, no pressure from outside. On just you choosing discipline again and again. And every time you choose it, you build something deeper than success. You build self-respect. Self-respect versus attention. Attention is addictive, but self-respect is powerful. Attention comes from others. Self-respect comes from within. Attention can be taken away. Self-respect cannot. And when you know deep down that you're doing the work, that you're showing up consistently, that you're improving even in small ways, you don't need validation anymore. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because you've already proven it to yourself, and that changes everything. You move differently. You think differently. You stop chasing approval and start chasing growth, delayed gratification. One of the most important skills you can develop is the ability to delay gratification, to choose long-term results over short-term pleasure, to say no to what feels good now in order to build something better later. Working in silence is an exercise in delayed gratification, because there's no immediate reward, no instant recognition, no quick feedback, just effort repeated over time. But here's the truth. Everything meaningful in life is built this way. Success is not a moment. It's a process, a slow accumulation of effort, discipline, and consistency. And the people who understand this, the ones who embrace it, they don't rush. They don't need immediate results. They trust the process, because they know if you keep showing up, if you keep improving, if you stay consistent long enough, the results become inevitable when success finally speaks. And then one day something changes, not suddenly, not dramatically, but noticeably. The work you've been doing starts to show. The skills you've been building start to sharpen. The discipline you've been practicing becomes your identity, and people begin to notice. They see the results, they see the progress, they see the difference. And they ask you, how did you do it? What's your secret? When did this happen? But they didn't see the silence, they didn't see the early mornings, the late nights, the moments you wanted to quit, but didn't they only see the noise, the outcome, the visible part of a process that was mostly invisible? And that's the beauty of it, because real success doesn't need to be announced. It reveals itself naturally, powerfully, loudly, becoming someone different by the time success makes noise. You've already changed. You're no longer the person who needed validation. You're no longer the person who looked for shortcuts. You're no longer the person who depended on motivation. You've become disciplined, focused, self-reliant. And that transformation is more valuable than the success itself, because success can come and go, but who you become in the process, that stays. The final truth: work hard in silence, let success make noise. It sounds simple, but it's not easy, because it goes against everything the modern world promotes. It asks you to be patient in a world of instant gratification, to be focused in a world of distraction, to be disciplined in a world of comfort. It asks you to trust a process that most people don't understand. But if you can do it, if you can embrace the silence, if you can commit to the work, if you can stay consistent when no one is watching, you separate yourself, not just in results, but in mindset, in character, in identity. Conclusion: at the end of the day, this isn't about proving something to the world. It's about building something within yourself, something solid, something real, because the loudest success, the kind that truly matters, is not the one that gets attention. It's the one that gives you freedom, freedom from doubt, freedom from dependence, freedom from needing anyone else's approval. And that kind of success, it is always built in silence first. So stop announcing, stop explaining, stop waiting for validation. Close the noise, focus on the work, and trust that one day, without forcing it, without chasing it, without needing to prove it, your success will speak for itself.